Thank you for joining Ministry on Mission TV. On behalf of Drs. Anita Mckaney and Tomesha D. Walker, we invite you to connect in the community. Our mission is to encourage and uplift women to birth their ministry and accomplish their mission. Together, we are the difference in action for positive change. Two humanitarians, Drs. Anita Mckaney and Tomesha D. Walker, are changing the world by giving voice to women around the globe, encouraging authors, marriages, mothers and wives to live out their ministry on mission. Join us Fridays at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time and spread the word as we reach out our goal of making a difference in the lives of 200,000 women. Welcome to the show.
Hey guys, hello. Welcome to Ministry on Mission. It is Drs. Anita Mckaney and Tomesha D. Walker, and we're so excited to have you here for this new episode. How has it been since we've last seen you, Dr. Anita?
Oh, it's been great. I love doing these shows week to week, meeting all the new people, having amazing conversations. But as you can tell by Dr. Tomesha's background, it's that holiday season. And so right now it's all about the fun and spending quality family time and putting some things to the side temporarily so we can focus on what really matters.
Yes.
How about you?
It's been amazing. A lot of things have happened. A lot of things have been going on. As many of you know, with my son who has a kidney transplant, right? Who was a premature kid. We have been doing a lot of different new things in this season. And so we've been doing dialysis. And in this portion of our journey, it's really been in this season very interesting because we have so many people who are working with us to make sure that we do focus on the real meaning, right, of what's happening right now. This season, I have found myself just doing more centered around the nativity, centered around the actual story of the nativity and just what happened and why it happened and how it happened. Like just looking at it from so many new angles that I didn't look at it before. It's been really interesting to me this season. So thank you for asking. This has been a true new journey, just looking at the birth of Christ and all of the things that happened surrounding it to now, right? So, yeah, it's been interesting.
Awesome. Well, I am excited because today's show, we are talking about the ministry of completion. The ministry of completion. You start something. Some people don't finish it. People are thinking about the end of the year and what's going to happen next and trying to pull it all together and get all those little pieces, all those ducks in a row can be a challenge. So ministry of completion. When you start something, you need to finish it. We need to set agendas that make sense, that are actually logical, that actually can be accomplished because we don't want to bite off more than we can chew. And we actually want to complete what we started. And so that is what we are talking about today. And we're talking about some of the shows that we went through so that we could have good examples of people who actually did what we're trying to do, which is start our ministry and finish our mission.
Yes. So this season has been really interesting. And I would love to talk just kind of overall on some of the amazing guests that we have had. This journey, I would say for us, has been just glorious and amazing in so many different ways. Like I know when we started this, right, I said, Lord, what is it that you want us to do? and I wasn't really sure as to what route it would take. We just didn't know what it would fully look like, how many amazing women we would meet, how many amazing ministries we would come across, how many connectors would happen globally, because we stopped to take the time, right, to honor what God put in us, what God placed in each one of us, and the goals and the ministries that He called, right, out of us to do within this world. And so I would have to say to Dr. Anita and to our viewers, thank you so much for helping us along this journey to complete the mission and the vision that God had given to us, right? To be able to not just start it, but to really work in levels of completion for the various things that we've done, from this show to moving in person and doing the conference, being able to even release the tickets for next year's conference. Like, we have accomplished a lot of things. So, looking at our guests, and I would love, I know she's not, this is not in order, but I would love to talk about a woman who I feel just blessed our soul. And honestly, you guys, from the show to the after show, we didn't want it to end. Like, we were really ready to just keep going. And we figured out, like, we were in the after show doing like a second show. Like, it wasn't, it wasn't even
Happened so many times.
right. True. It wasn't like our quick just snap after show. Like, we were heading into some new topics and waters. And I was a little bit amazed because I was so ready to go there. And she was so ready to go there. And Dr. Anita, you were like, all right, so we're in. And then it was like, oh, wait a minute. we can't do a whole nother show. But where we had one of our authors that came on, and she just released a new book and actually has a new workshop that will be coming out from her women's ministry this January. And I believe her last name is Hartwell. And so she was just an awesome guest that taught us so much, like, in speaking from her heart, but then also sharing as the Holy Spirit led for her to just impart into our lives. I really felt like we weren't interviewing her. Like, I really felt as if she was giving to us in our own situation, in our own world, and then sharing for you all out of her experience, out of her book, and out of her journey. What did you think about that episode?
Yeah. So Christine, I believe it's Harold. She was amazing. She really was able to take us in a different direction than I was expecting for that episode. But she was so genuine. She was so sweet. And to share her own experiences with us about her childhood and some of the trauma that she experienced that birthed the book that is now available, that was powerful. And I forged a new friendship. You know, I didn't know her previously prior to that interview. And just getting to know her as a person, beautiful personality, so sweet, and just literally her voice itself is just so soothing. So I thought that was an amazing episode. Couple things that stood out with me for her is that she's able to adapt to her environment. So for her to go from, you know, being the one who's always laughing to the one who now can minister to others through her books and through the things that she's offering to children, just was heart touching. And I know that touched your heart, Dr. Tomesha, with the kids part and her talking about children and parenting. That I know that was a really special moment in the show for you.
It really, really was. I had to catch myself a few times to keep from crying because of how heartfelt the things that she was sharing, but then heartfelt and hard hitting. Like, she shared just very direct and clear things that it helped me to say, I want to make sure when I step away from this show, these are some things that I'm going to look into, that I'm going to deal with, that I'm going to pray through, that I'm going to talk about. It helped me in that way. And I love that she gives specifics. So even with her book and then the subsequent journal that she has associated with that, I am so excited that she released that, because it not only gives you the space, like you guys know, in the first book that I wrote, like I wrote the book, but then I also included the area for journaling to work through your emotions, to work through the situation and what was going on. And so she created the book and then a separate journal so that you could apply the things that she was sharing and teaching from her own experience. I loved it. I
Mhm.
literally loved
Yeah,
love
absolutely.
that episode.
I mean, who knew that God would take like a comedian and gospel radio show host and give her the awesome book, Don't Touch Me? It's available on Amazon. You can go ahead and purchase it. Just look for Christine Harrell. It's an amazing resource for kids and for adults. It's not just for children, but you know, it's amazing how the things that happen to us in childhood really do affect us. And so it's for adults too, for that reason, because you really do need to think deeply about the things in your past that have affected you and moving on from there, and how that has constructed your worldview and how it's changed your life. And not only your life, but your own kids, your own, you know, people around you that you love, your family, and that it makes a big difference. So I truly enjoyed talking to her. It was amazing. And so, yeah, looking forward to our next guests.
Yeah. So with Miss Christine, I will say, with her book and with her journal, because she's actually getting ready to speak at a conference right now. Like, I'm kind of looking at those tickets because I know that she's going to be sharing some awesome and amazing information there as well. As we get ready to move on to, I think you're going to say Kathy Houston, since you brought up her book. But I wanted to make sure and give you guys, I'm just looking, I wanted to make sure and give you guys the title of the journal from Miss Harrell, Miss Christine. It's just called The Healing Journal. That goes, yeah, The Healing Journal that goes along with her book, Aches of the Soul. So that goes along with her book, Aches of the Soul. It's the Healing Journal. And then as we spoke, we have another author that was absolutely wonderful. I was shocked that she brought the information that she brought. But when Kathy Houston came and talked about her journey and what she dealt with as a young person that um, was saved, right, because of the information that her mother gave her, and then decided to turn that into a book to help hopefully save other people. I am just awed at that because it's such a touchy subject, right? And like you said, her being a comedian, like Kathy being a Christian comedian and sharing from that world, her interview was so in depth, as in personal, heartfelt things. And ways she opened up and gave us tips on how to talk to our children. That meant the world to me. The way that she answered that question on how to just broach the situation and create a safe space in order to be able to talk to them, that was absolutely amazing. So I love that you bring up her book, because that I agree with you. That topic is something that's not talked about enough,
Yeah.
and is all too often felt in families but not dealt with. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And you need, sometimes it's helpful to have a resource, right, that you can go to, that's going to not only have scripture and have a good foundation, but also has people's experiences, so that you feel like you're not alone in the situations that you're facing. So I truly enjoyed, you know, Miss Houston, and she was just really, she packed a punch with hers, because it's something that will leave you with a great impression. And so I'm excited. That's why I mentioned her book, Don't Touch Me. I was so excited about that, because I believe it's something that's going to be a great resource to people, to children, to adults, to everyone. And also because there is power in revisiting your memories and revisiting things that can be hurtful. You know, people talk about triggers and things like that all the time. And I understand what people mean by triggers, but I don't believe it's something you have to own. And so I like that she helps people work through those things to get to the other side of healing with that instead of just staying in that one place, being triggered and like that's it. So the affirmations that she talks about in her books and how she's able to help you revisit that in a safe space and in a safe way. And not only that, but to bring you out on the other side, I think is important. So then we had another guest that we had, Dr. Rebecca James, and I will never forget that interview. She was incredible how she works with women and about how she really cares deeply about something that other people don't even think about. You know, when we talk about OBGYN visits and talking about the things that impact women on a daily and monthly and annual basis, this is like where she lives. And it is beautiful to have a woman who cares about women's issues. And so we were able to speak with Dr. James, and she was just delightful and very educated about the things that affect women and affect our bodies so that we're able to do the ministries and the missions that we're called to do. But it really begins with us, right? Because we're our first ministry and mission, that part. So she really explained that so well. And I really do hope you get a chance to look back at that episode because she broke that down just the way God created our bodies and how really we can't help others until we help ourselves, right? So that was powerful.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. And I loved her transparency where she talked about how she had to really depend on God when she looked to open up their location, right? Their brick and mortar, her and her husband, and how with even the builders, like down to the last minute where she was just like, Lord, if we don't get this done, like if this is not completed and signed off on, we can't open. And we have people that are literally scheduled for Monday and it's Friday.
Wow.
Like
Talk about
the
walking by
last
faith.
moment.
Yeah, seriously.
You know, and so just hearing her talk about her faith and her belief and just pressing into God and saying, Lord, I know that you've called me to this. I know that this is what you want us to do, and we're walking in your will, right? We believe you that you will meet us, that the resources will meet us, right? That the clientele will meet us because we are doing what you've called us to do. And so I loved hearing her speak about the talent and the gift that God had placed within her, even at a young age, for the love, right, of being able to support people and of doing surgeries, right? Who I don't get to hear many people that just talk about that gifting and that they love, literally love what they do and know that it's a gift from God, you know, in that realm. And so it's exciting to hear that to me. And then also to hear her talk about when she shared that there was a robotic malfunction in one of the surgeries. That one got me. I said, oh my gosh, like you asked such an insightful question dealing with if they were using robotics and electronics, you know, within the surgery room.
Technology. Yeah, it's amazing. We've come so far in tech, and a lot of people are scared of it, but she like dives in with both feet for better or for worse. And it's been worse and it's been better. And like, you know, there's a big learning curve with that. And just for her to be so innovative is amazing. I think it's once again, like as you said, it shows that, you know, she's faithful to rely on God, who is most faithful to her. And so I loved that episode, and I'm just so looking forward to connecting with her again. As busy as she is, only taking so many interviews a year and public appearances and that, but she still made time for us, and I was so grateful, so grateful.
I was so honored. I was so honored that she chose us to be her, you know, 2023 interview. Like that was really awesome.
Special.
It was. So we, before that, shared a bit about the conference, the Launching Leaders Conference. And as we mentioned earlier, we're excited because 2024 is Launching Leaders Conference
Yay,
tickets
looking forward to it.
are available for sale. You guys can find them on Eventbrite, or you can just literally go to ministryonmission.com and click the link for the 2024 Launching Leaders Conference.
Yep,
Oh
it's
my
happening
gosh.
all over again.
Yes! I'm so excited about that. I'm so excited. We have some wonderful things in store for you, a couple of new surprises. It's going to be really nice. And it's shaping up to be quite nice. So I'm excited. I'm excited about what we're doing in that genre and in that vein. And then we also had Maria Tolliver. So please tell us, Dr. Anita, just a little bit about Maria Tolliver.
I enjoyed talking to Maria. It was one of the first times that I had met her, and I was so impressed that she's so well versed worldwide. Like her connections with all of the businesses and how she has been able to partner with multiple businesses across the world literally is so impressive. Like she's literally worked with people in Asian countries, in America, in Africa, in Europe, and she does it with such grace and with such style, and she's so humble. Really, we had to like pull out information for her to be like, no, tell me more, tell me more. And her website, just beautiful, how she has had so much experience in the tech world and how she seamlessly is a phenomenal businesswoman, you know, talking about her roots and how she began and her education, and then how God just seamlessly weaved what was happening with her life into what was happening with her business, with her and her husband and their children, and how she's able to have, you know, dual citizenship both in America and in Canada, I believe it was. Just amazing. I love how she is just so humble about all of that. But yeah, she is working it. Girlfriend is working it out. And it's just God is moving her, even shifting her in some of the things that she's doing and how she's adapting. And she was very transparent and real about, you know, the struggle that is to really be following God in her industry and to really move in the tech space and design space and all of the things that she does, but yet keeping God central focus was amazing.
Yeah, I love that, being the central focus, like God, keeping God the central focus, being the reason for her writing her book. And so, God in the details, I love the book. I saw her speak at a business conference, and it was absolutely wonderful. I really enjoyed it, and I would encourage you guys to get it. It has beautiful details and insight on running your business in a godly way. And it came out of the precipice of seeing so much new age in the business era, and she was like, this is not what God is calling us to do. And so I absolutely love that. So what other things would you like to share from this season concerning the individuals that we've talked to and just the things we've covered?
Oh yeah, I mean, not to mention like Authorine Sullivan, who was just incredible with all of her books. I know a lot of people are trying to publish now. A lot of people are trying to push out books and are trying to, you know, do something different in the new year. And Authorine Solomon was just completely inspiring because she's written so many books. And we literally talked about how her first name, Authorine, is so unique, and yet God like literally made that who she was. She is an author, and she didn't even think she would be writing. She didn't even think that she could, you know, produce something like that. She didn't think that she would literally be called to do that, but she was, and she is, and she's still authoring so many books. So it was such a pleasure to talk to Authorine Solomon, and just to, oh my goodness, just to talk to her. She has so much knowledge and so many things that she is ready to share with the world. And so I'm just excited to see what her next book is going to be and next books, because she has a lot in her. And I just really appreciate that people who have become authors, that's a bold leap of faith right there. So I was just excited to talk to her, and just excited and even more thrilled. And actually, if I can be honest, I was inspired and encouraged to write even more, because, you know, I have a couple other books in the works, trying to get some other things done. And I'm like, you know what? Authorine Solomon has written so many books, and I think that I need to go ahead and complete some things that I've started. I mean, we're talking about the mission of completion, right? This is a woman who finishes what she starts. And so that was an inspiring one. And can't forget Glory Joseph, who was our very first episode in season 5. She was amazing, talking about how important it is to use proper speech, dialect, really just breaking down speech and how to talk. And not only that, but just speech etiquette, knowing when to speak and when not to. I believe in that episode, we ended up talking about Ecclesiastes. You know, there's a time to speak and a time not to. And Glory Joseph, it was such a pleasure to be able to talk to her out of country, which was incredible. We do have out of country guests that we have from time to time, and hers was completely spectacular. She spent the time with us and was able to talk about her business and how she has literally built a business on speech and diction and all of those things. And it was quite the show. And so Glory Joseph was really giving us a glorious interview, because she really, once again, is one of those people that has picked herself up, because she could not have ventured into her business without her focus on Christ. And so it's just amazing to see all of these business women this past season just really venturing out into the things that God has called them to do. And of course, we always encourage you guys to do the same. There's something inside of you, like you have potential, you have, you know, truly a gift that you can share with the world. And all of our guests, from Glory Joseph to Autherine Solomon to Maria Tolliver to Dr. Rebecca James and Christine Harrell and Kathy Houston. And then we had the last guest of the season, Dr. Ada Juni Okika. Wow. And when I tell you wow, that's not an understatement. She's an ambassador. She's a teacher. She's the author of multiple books. She is a public speaker. She is in ministry. And I'm telling you, one of my mentors, and I was so honored that she said yes to me to appearing on our show, because she's so busy, and for her to take time out for us was truly a treat. She was the last person we interviewed in season 5. And I'm telling you, what a blessed woman of God. She not only challenged us to make a difference in our lives, but she encouraged us by talking about the International Day of Violence Against Women and Girls and what we can do as women to help other women. And the network that we're on, as you know, is, you know, a women's network. And it just sealed the deal to have her come and speak about some of the hardships that women in other countries and other places are facing and what we can do to help. It was challenging. It was convicting. And she is just gut honest. She will tell you how she feels in that moment, and she will not bite her tongue about it. And so it's a blessing to see how she has organized her ministry, how she has organized business, how she has organized other groups of people to help women, not only in Nigeria, where she is from, but across the States, across Europe. I mean, diving into places like India and Spain. She literally has traveled everywhere. And then she offered Dr. Tomesha and I the opportunity to partner with her. So grateful is an understatement when it comes to Dr. Okika. And she truly is a gem and a resource herself for women. So I highly encourage you to follow her, to check out her YouTube, to really avail yourselves to not only follow her, but truly to get this type of mentorship in your own life, because she not only is truly giving to others, but she is also teaching others to do the same thing she's doing. And that's even part of what I do with Lifestyle Image Network, just literally mentoring others to mentor others, discipling others to disciple others. And so that interview was incredible. She was encouraging us. She was challenging us. And I'm so looking forward to the things that she's going to do in the next year. And every guest was incredible. Every interview was amazing. And of course, you want to view them all. You want to follow them all, comment on them all. You can always go to ministryonmission.com. You can find us on social media at Ministry on Mission everywhere. We are on Instagram. We're on Facebook. We are on YouTube. So just search for Ministry on Mission. We are truly trying to make a difference in the lives of 200,000 women. Is that a big thing to do? Yes, it is, but we are up for the challenge. And I'm so excited that you are along for the ride. So listen, we're going to need you to interact more. We want to really, truly get to know you, get to know your story. And if you know someone with an incredible story, with an incredible testimony that's done the mission, that is sharing about their ministry, we would love to interview you on our show or to interview someone you know on the show. And so we are still looking for those who are willing to be here. And as Dr. Tomesha said earlier, we are looking forward to the Launching Leaders Conference, our annual conference. Last year was incredible. And what do you have to do? Go to ministryonmission.com and click the link that will take you right to the page where you can purchase tickets that are already selling. I kid you not. We've already sold tickets to the Launching Leaders Conference for 2024. I am excited. I am looking forward. Listen, last year the speakers were amazing. And this is a type of conference where you're not going to walk away with nothing. Everyone walked away with not just good content, not just a plan for their business, not just merch, but they had the opportunity to be a blessing to the community. We gave away so many books to young people, to teenagers, to just homes where children are, hospitals. We were able to do that as a group. Not only that, started a community garden. We were able to help the community itself and establish something that was not there before. Why? So that we can look forward to growing sustainability in communities. And I kid you not, it does my heart good to not only sit in a conference and glean from the information, but to take that same information and to go forward and to bless someone else. So listen, if you have not gotten anything out of Ministry on Mission TV, it's because you're not watching. I'm telling you, because all of our guests are amazing. And if you follow any of them on social media, please do follow them on their LinkedIn, on their Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Follow them because they are doing tremendous things. What you see on our show is literally the tip of the iceberg because they are doing amazing work, amazing ministry, amazing businesswomen, amazing women, period. And so listen, you're an amazing woman too. And listen, we don't have just women watching the show. Men like to chime in too. We are not mad at y'all. However, we are literally trying to reach these 200,000 women. So listen, share the shows, share the episodes, hashtag Ministry on Mission so we can see what you're watching, right? On Roku, what you're watching on Amazon TV. That's right. We're in all those places. And so if you're watching that, take a screenshot. Let us know what your favorite parts of the episodes are. Tell us what you've learned. You know, I'm the creative learning leader. I'm always trying to see, did my students learn? What have you gleaned? Where are we going from here? And so I am excited for what the next few episodes will bring. And I'm looking forward to what the new year will bring. So make one of your New Year resolutions to stay right here at Ministry on Mission TV. Not only you, but tell somebody else that we are here. Dr. Tomesha and I thank you again for watching, for participating, for recommending, and for sharing our show. Until next time, bye.